The MQ-9 Reaper drone, America's weapon of choice for the next World War? The Air Force MQ-9 Reaper drone will live to fight another day, or thousands of days, due to a clear service plan to employ the platform for at least the next 15 years. The General Atomics MQ-9 Reaper, sometimes called Predator B, is an unmanned aerial vehicle capable of remotely controlled or autonomous flight operations developed by General Atomics Aeronautical Systems, primarily for the United States Air Force. The MQ-9 is a larger, heavier, and more capable aircraft than the earlier General Atomics MQ-1 Predator. The Reaper has a 950 shaft horsepower turboprop engine. The greater power allows the Reaper to carry 15 times more ordnance payload and cruise at about 3 times the speed of the MQ-1. The aircraft is monitored and controlled by aircrew in the ground control station, including weapons employment. The strategy is to evolve and sustain the MQ-9 Reaper as it transitions from primarily a counterterrorism surveillance and strike platform into a great power warfare asset. While less stealthy and therefore potentially less survivable against advanced major power air defenses, the Reaper drone still has tremendous utility and tactical value in a potential large-scale war. With this in mind, the Air Force has for many years now been evolving the Reaper to upgrade its technical systems and expand its mission scope to transition the drone into the great power warfare era. The efforts have been going on for several years as they include the addition of a universal weapons interface on the drone to add new weapons to its arsenal and increase its ability to transition between multiple types of bombs. The Air Force has also added new weapons to the drone, fuel tank extension, and incorporated air-to-air weapons to the Reaper as part of an effort to expand the scope of its potential missions. Most recently, the Air Force is retrofitting the Reaper with hardening technologies intended to stop enemy jamming attempts and improve resiliency and survivability. Other Reaper enhancements include electro-optical infrared sensor upgrades, as well as an additional weapons integration. The MQ-9 program office is already completing initial fleet retrofits that will mitigate potential jamming to the platform. This is the first retrofit of many, as MQ-9 multi-domain operations configured aircraft will receive additional closely held capabilities that will enable command and control mission assurance and resiliency while the aircraft is airborne, according to an Air Force report. The Air Force has been adjusting and migrating the Reaper for a number of years now through a range of significant efforts to include the addition of the AIM-9X air-to-air missile, the AIM-9X, which also fires from F-35 Lightning II and F-22 Raptor, can use advanced guidance technology including off-bore sight targeting, meaning it can destroy non-linear targets behind or on the side of the aircraft that are not necessarily in a direct or straight-ahead line of sight. Off-bore sight targeting means that the missile can direct, turn, or change course in flight. Software upgrades have enabled the Reaper to fly with as many as 8 Hellfire missiles as well, adding to its overall weapons carrying capacity. The Reaper can now be armed with AGM-114 Hellfires, 500-pound laser-guided weapons called GBU-12 Paveway 2, GBU-38 JDAMs, and a new International Navigation Systems guidance kit. The Reaper gets F-35B-like capabilities. The MQ-9 Reaper drone is set for a new upgrade, offering it a short takeoff and landing capability, making it the first unmanned aerial system in its class to be able to take off from big-deck amphibious assault ships. The announcement was made by the General Atomics Aeronautical Systems Incorporated. The new short takeoff and landing STOL configuration for the drone will consist of an optional wing and tail kit that can be installed within a day, while the core aircraft and its subsystems remain the same. Operators can install the kit in a hangar or on a flight line, providing a new capability to an existing aircraft. While it's not yet clear if Aeronautical Systems will offer its new drones in the STOL configuration, it can be reasonably assumed that the capability would be made available to new customers as well. Imagine taking the hardtop off your Jeep. You lift it off, stow it in your garage, and now you've got an open vehicle. If it rains, you put the hardtop back on. We're the same. Take a standard MQ-9B, put the STOL kit on, and then go fly, said David Alexander, president of the General Atomics Aeronautical Systems. General Atomics released an animated video of the STOL version of the REAPER drone on May 10th, in which the Marine Corps-marked MQ-9 can be seen taking off from the deck of what looks like the USS Macon Island. STOL means we can take this incredibly capable, long-endurance aircraft and get into and out of more airfields in more places, Alexander said. The company particularly mentioned the use of MQ-9B short takeoff and landing on amphibious assault ships, which carry several Marine AV-8B Harrier jump jets or the F-35B Lightning IIs, both of which have the short takeoff and vertical landing STOVL capability. The America-class amphibious assault ships are just 844 feet in length, requiring aircraft to either take off in a very short space or be a vertical lift aircraft like helicopters. Even a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier with its topside length of 1,100 feet is too short for a conventional takeoff, because of which its non-rotary wing-embarked aircraft need to use catapults to get airborne. Picture something like an amphibious assault ship such as the USS America. Our wing set folds up so the MQ-9B STOL could park on the deck or in the hangar bay, just like any other naval aircraft. When it's time to launch, you start up the aircraft, unfold the wings, and take off over the bow just like any other aircraft without the need for ship launch aids. No catapult needed, Alexander said. The company believes that the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps will be interested in the STOL REAPER because of its ability to provide persistent and long-range intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capability anywhere in the world where the Navy's big-deck ship can travel, or there's even a small remote airstrip. By extending the surveillance umbrella of the amphibious ships, we can also host kinetic capabilities that would act as the first line of defense for Navy ships, Alexander said. They don't have anything like this right now. So you could use it to support your forces in the littoral, on the beach, or blue water operations. The latest version of the MQ-9 is powered by the Rolls-Royce M250 turboshaft engine. It's equipped with a high-resolution electro-optical infrared nose-mounted MTS-B sensor and can carry an eagle-eye long-range synthetic aperture radar with moving target indicator capability, signals intelligence, and communications relay packages, as well as a host of other capabilities through bolt-on pods. A REAPER could be an effective wide-area surveillance platform, providing coverage over large areas of the ocean for long periods. It would be just as effective as a networking node, connecting strike groups and the nearby battle space as a whole beyond the line of sight without relying on satellites. So, considering the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, where the United States is most likely to face off against China, the need for a persistent set of eyes looking as far and wide as possible is becoming a tactical necessity. It could also be used as a sub-hunter, as the MQ-9 is capable of carrying sonobuoys from a wing-mounted pneumatic launching pod. Data links would relay the information gathered by the sonobuoys back to the ship or manned sub-hunting helicopters for analysis and exploitation.